All right, what's going on, fellas? So in this video, what we're gonna do is be bringing you 5 fragrances out on the market that are under $30. So one thing I always tell us is that fragrances does not have to cost you an arm and a leg. You can get great smelling fragrances, great smelling scents, and they don't have to cost you a fortune. All right, so we're gonna get right into it. The first fragrance that we're gonna have on the list for today is a fragrance that comes from the brand of Alhambra, and this one here is attributed to Parfums de Leighton, and this right here. This one is called Alhambra Detour Noir. So Alhambra Detour Noir, with trying to replicate that Leighton DNA, is going to come out with some lavender, it'll come out with some apple, some bergamot, some sandalwood, that vanilla, and as well as mandarin orange. So put simply, while it's not a one-to-one comparison to Leighton, it is about, in my opinion, 80 to 90% similar. It's a little bit more fruity, so not nearly as vanillic, sweet, and alluring, but still saying what I'm saying. Great performance. This one has really good sillage to it, really smooth kind of scent and quality that you can get, and it's only $25 on Joma Shop. So if you like Parfums de Leighton, this one would be a really good option for you to get for $25. All right, now the next fragrance we're going to be talking about is one of the top, probably one of the most popular fragrances of all time, let alone the fact that it's a cheapie. And this fragrance replicates the popular Creative Ventus DNA. And this one I've talked about numerous times on the channel, but this would be Club de Nuit Intense Man by Armaf. So Club de Nuit Intense Man, put simply, is a really citrusy, musky, floral, and woody fragrance. It's gonna have many notes of bergamot. It's gonna have many notes of black pepper, pineapple. You're also gonna get that jasmine, that ambrox, and that musk. Then you're gonna get that cedar in the base, okay? So this one is a really fresh daily dropper fragrance, really citrusy daily dropper fragrance for those of us who like those kind of fresh, opening, invigorating, uplifting fragrances for your daily use. The great thing about this is that with the ambrox and the projection, the sillage is great, and the performance is really good. And you can get a 3.6 ounce bottle of this for $25 right now on Joma Shop and on other discounters. So again, get your hands on this if you don't have this already in your collection. You don't gotta pay full Aventus prices, which is at least $400, okay? So this one's a really good option for you. All right, now this next fragrance is one that is kind of starting to make its way back into collection. I've always had an affinity for it. I've actually always liked this fragrance, and especially for the price, I mean, you really can't beat it. And some people would argue there's got to be something wrong because of how affordable it is, but it's honestly not. And many collectors still love it despite the price. But this one here is going to be called Nautica Voyage, okay? So Nautica Voyage is a fragrance that is going to have some green notes. It's going to have apple. It's going to have lettuce. It's also going to have musk. It's going to have cedar, oak, moss, and amber, okay? So a really nice green, floral, fruity fragrance with a little bit of floral notes in there to give that extra level of spiciness and a little bit more of an allure to it. But put simply, if you like a fragrance that is fresh out the shower, fresh and clean, you don't want it overly citrusy, you don't want it overly musky, overly woodsy, this would be a great alternative for you. This one is one you can also blind pull, and you'll always have it accessible and ready. You can keep this with you in your bag, in your car, not in your car, but a place where you can be able to pull it. You'll have a place and a fragrance where you'll be able to smell great, and you will only have to pay about $20 for this on Amazon. All right, now this next fragrance is one that I haven't mentioned on the channel before. I've actually had this for a little while, but with it getting colder now here where I stay, it's actually been able to come out and be put to use more in the collection and more out in public. And this one here is from the brand of Maison Alhambra, and this one here is called Maison Alhambra's Tobacco Touch. So Tobacco Touch is a fragrance that some people may say smells a little bit like Tobacco Vanille by Tom Ford, but this is $25 on Joma Shop right now. This fragrance is gonna have tobacco, it's gonna have spicy notes, it's also gonna have vanilla, tonka bean, it's gonna have cacao, and then it's also gonna have woody notes. So put simply, if you like those spicy, smooth, vanillic, woodsy fragrances, you're gonna love this. If you love tobacco vanilla, you've been able to smell tobacco vanilla out at the mall, at Sephora, at Ulta, and you want something that smells similar to that, but you don't want to pay tobacco vanilla prices, boom, you can get your hands on this right here, $25. And this one smells great, great longevity, great performance, great comment pulling factor for $25, all right? Now the last fragrance is one that is probably one of the most recent fragrances I've gotten my hands on in the collection, but I'm loving it. And the only thing I'm mad about is that I didn't get my hands on it sooner, but this is one from a brand that I actually have a lot of respect, a lot of affinity for. I'm getting more of the fragrances either back into the collection or just repurchasing them or buying them for the first time. But this one is one I really love since I've gotten it. It's gotten me a lot of compliments, and this one here is called Choo Man Ice, okay? Choo Man Ice. So Choo Man Ice, put simply, is a citrusy, musky, and fruity fragrance that to me smells like a really nice fresh mojito cocktail, right? Something where you're out of the bar, you need to go get a drink, and so you want to smell masculine, you want to smell fresh and clean. This one is more of a summery fragrance, definitely. So if you're not in that warm weather, that hot weather, I wouldn't necessarily have this as your go-to, but this one is really going to be one that when you get to those warm weather days, those hot weather days, this one will be a blind pull. It's going to have main notes of bergamot, mandarin orange. It's going to have apple, cedar, vetiver, patchouli, muskin, and broxin, okay? So a really nice citrusy, woody, spicy, and musky fragrance, all right? With that, ambroxan helps with the projection and the sillage as well. So again, a really great fresh option that you can get for $25, all right? So if we recap it, if you love the fresh Creative Ventus DNA, you're gonna love this one here, Club de Nuit Intense Man. If you want a nice, fresh out the shower, green, and sort of watery fragrance, boom, you're gonna go with this one here, Nautica Voyage. If you want that Parfums de Marly Latent DNA, you go with this one here, Detour Noir by Alhambra. If you want Tobacco Vanille for a discount, bang, you go with this one here, Tobacco Touch by Maison Alhambra. Lastly, if you need to get your hands on some Jimmy Choo, you want to smell like a nice fresh tonic, boom, you go with this one here, Choo Man Ice. There you go, guys. That's 5 fragrances, all under $30 that you can get on the market. You will smell great. You will smell really alluring, really attractive. You'll have all your seasons, all your T's dotted and touched. And at the end of the day, it's all about looking good and smelling good. But that'll do it for today. Again, I appreciate all you guys who listen and continue to support the channel. Subscribe to the channel down below. Comment any videos and any fragrances you want to see on the channel going forward. And we'll catch you on the next one. Much love.